Hey guys, I'm Boot. We're in New Jersey, and today I'm going to open some vape mail. So guys, inside this package is the thing I've been waiting for all this time. You go ahead and tear into it, because this is what I've been waiting for. The very first time ever that I've actually ever gotten myself something that is high-end, the Kayfun 2019. 22 millimeter, the Kayfun Lite 2019, I should say. And I got this from Origin Vape. As you might have seen earlier, this was $89.99 from Origin Vape. I'm finally going to crack this thing open, show you what's in the box. Let's see what we got. So we're just gonna go ahead and break the seal down. In this box, we got another box. Inside this box, we've got the quick start guide, the difference, and the tank. Svoemesto drip tip. So here it is broken down. Drip tip, top cap. This is a piece of, I want to say it's PMTA. We've got the chimney section, and we've got the base. Now this base, I really kind of admire the base section, the way it's put together, just because it actually has areas to trap the leads under the screws, which this does not come with screws. There are no screws in that deck. Well, let me check this Svoemesto envelope here and see what's in this envelope. Okay, so there are screws in here and extra screws. There are these plastic screws inside of here, are airflow control screws. To install the airflow control, install the build screws, and then lube up the O-rings with, it says e-liquid or VG. So that's pretty much all there is to it. You have to install your screw for the airflow, and then install your build deck screws. And then there's actually O-rings already on here and here, and there are O-rings on the drip tip. This is actually the drip tip, as to where on the other ones it was a screw-on drip tip. So of course I'm going to put some e-juice on that to lube it up and everything. I'm going to go ahead and build this, and then I will come back. Okay, so I got the tank all built up, tip and everything on. This is the top half of the tank, and you can see down in there are these big fill ports. So what I'm filling it with today, I've got some 21 Jump Treat from Vape Wild, and it's 6535, so it's going to be a little thicker. This is 12 milligram, and I'm just going to put it right down the side here and just fill it up. As you're filling it, you have to watch the other holes to keep an eye on your juice, because if it comes up a little too high, then you're going to be in a world of mess. So yeah, luckily the bottle just sucks up the bit that spilled over the sides. So now I'm going to go ahead and screw it onto my tank. I didn't even get to show you the build. So basically there it is, all put together and everything. And you can tell this thing's got some battle damage. Anyways, let's take it back up top and talk about some of the pros and cons of this thing. Alrighty guys, so we are up top with the Kayfun Lite 2019. This thing is very sleek. That's one of the pros. So we'll go over the pros real quick, and then I'll dive into the cons. So the pros being, it is sleek, it's very nice, it's very short. I like the shorter tank. I think it gives it a nice look, makes it, feel a little bit more, like it's less than it's gonna break, like the bigger tanks I had, like the bigger Kayfuns. I actually had a Russian 91, which is the, Kayfun sister tank, I guess, and I hated the fact that it was so big. This feels like a smaller tank. Well, before I was using the Nautilus 2, and it's a shorter tank, and I liked the feel of it. It just seems nice and short on top of my mod. It's not a big honking thing. The other plus is that it's the tank is PMMA, so it's polymethyl methacrylate. I had to look that up on the computer to figure that out. But it is pretty resilient. I've actually dropped this thing a couple of times. So luckily it held up, no dings or scratches or anything. And the thing is, the finish on this is beautiful. Right now I'm rocking a 1.4 ohm coil on here at 17 watts, and it's good enough. It works just the way I intend. This thing is not made for high VG juice. Unfortunately, I have some high VG juice that I was vaping earlier in the week, and it tended to need to be, the wick needed to be replaced every day. It does have the airflow screw in the bottom. You can't really see it because it goes in pretty far, but it's a flathead plastic screw that does the airflow adjustment, and the airflow is just the single hole, you know, like the old school Kayfun hole, which gives it that smooth airflow, and I really like that. They also make different caps, different extensions for the glass to make it, you know, hold more juice, or even just to make it like a bell cap type. I feel like the drip tips, they also have drip tips that are matching. They have what they call fire and ice, where the fire is like the yellow type of PMMA, and the ice is like more clear PMMA. So, but I would be a little bit concerned that the clear one would be a little less durable, I guess, than the yellow one, or, you know, stabilized piss looking one. But I think it's absolutely great that they have so many options, so many ways to customize this tank. Unfortunately, the price point I can't speak to. This was the very first time that I ever bought something of this caliber, and I am enjoying the ever-living shit out of it. And I believe that in time, I will get my money's worth out of this thing, so it was a good buy. Now we'll dive into the cons for this thing. The cons being that if you use a high VG or a juice with a lot of sweetener, you will end up having to change the wick more often. The other thing I don't like about this tank is, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I have the base is unscrewed just a little bit here. The base of the tank here has a bit of a gap in it, because if I screw it down all the way, it makes it really hard to get it apart. And when I go to take it apart, I'll open the tank and the tank will just get juice all over the place. You know, whatever residual juice is inside will leak everywhere. So I have the tank screwed down really nice, and the base is just like a turn from open. Although one of the things, again, that I really like, it's very easy to just look at your coil and your wick. Also to fill these giant ports here, so you can just fill your tank, screw it back on, and call it a day, and that's all she wrote. The con being that the base, I have to leave a little bit of a gap. I have to leave it unscrewed, like just like a turn, because what happens is when I'm out and about, I have to fill my tank. It does last a good long while, mainly like 6 hours or something with me, and I chain vape like a mother. So, you know, of course, having to change my juice, you know, or refill my juice is a bitch if I over tighten it and then I have to break out tools to open it up just to fill it. That is one of the down draws of it. The other down draw is I feel like this drip tip is a little bit too short. I feel like it could be a little bit longer, just a little bit, but it does match the aesthetic of the tank, so there's that. Other than that, I mean, I've had phenomenal use of this tank over the last week. It's been great. If I do have any crazy, you know, things happen, I'll let you know, but I mean, it's been great. I haven't had any problems, any leaking issues, any of that with this tank, and I'm so glad. Unfortunately, the other con is that it's $90, $89.99 I got on Origin Vape out of New York. And luckily, you know, it shipped right out and it was here within a matter of, you know, a day. So that was great. But the fact that the batch, I was waiting on the second batch to come out, that was a problem. I waited almost 4 months for that batch to arrive. I got the 22mm edition, which there is a 24mm edition. I just don't like those big honking tanks. It looks like it's too big for my mods. You know, I do use the Smoke Alien mod, which this mod has so much battle damage on it, but I just love it because it's, you know, fits in the hand real nice. So obviously, you know, there's going to be things that are subjective to you, but that's about all I got. So thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.